Hello, everyone. My name is John from Community Life Church in Catskill, New York, and this is Meals Ready to Eat from the Bible. Please like, subscribe, hit that bell icon to get notified. Facebook, follow us, like us, and everybody, please leave a comment. Thanks. Hello again, and welcome back. Today's episode is When God Gives Us a Place to Go, we should go there briskly and cheerfully. Once Jacob heard what God had told him, once he knew what God had wanted, he quickly went where God sent him, and we should do the same. So we're in the story of, we're in Genesis, talking about the story of Jacob and how he walked out his destiny. We see this odd kind of story in chapter 29. But after Jacob heard from God in a dream, he left for the place that he was to go. And once he got there, he did not just sit around and wait for something to happen. He took action. And today we're going to see exactly what he did. And it seems like a quaint love story, but there's a lot more going on than that. So let's just get the scripture up on the screen. We have two of them today and read through them. The first one is from the Amplified Bible, which gives us a little more insight into what's going on. But this is Genesis 29:1, and it says, Then Jacob went briskly and cheerfully on his way 100 miles and came to the land of the people of the east. Some other translations say the sons of the east. Okay, so a few verses later, this is Genesis 29:9-12. While he was still speaking with them, these are the people he met, and he asked about Lahor, the man he was looking for. Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she was a shepherdess. When Jacob saw Rachel, When Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, Jacob went up and rolled the stone from the mouth of the well and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. There was a big stone in the way of the well that was used, I assume, for protection of the well. Then Jacob kissed Rachel and lifted his voice and wept. Jacob told Rachel he was a relative of her father and he was Rebekah's son, and she ran and told her father. All right. So what's going on here? This is kind of, we may think this is like, just some sort of quaint love story. This is so nice. Or we may not understand it because, it happened many thousands of years ago when customs were different. But there's a message for us in here, and let's try to dig out and see what God is saying. First of all, Jacob asked the people he met about Lahor and his family. We see that in the beginning of chapter 29. All right, and they directed him to Lahor's sheep herd led by his daughter. When he saw Rachel, and this is Lahor's daughter, she was a shepherdess. And what did he do? Again, he didn't just sit there and hang around. He went over and he did something. He helped her by removing a large stone that blocked the well. So he acted, he worked. He didn't just talk about doing something. He didn't just say he was going to do something. He actually did something. He took action. So she responded and ran to her father because of what he did. So this is more than just a nice love story. Oh, it's a great love story, which it is, but there's a lot more going on here. We see Jacob realizing what God wanted. We see Jacob living out what God had called him to. Jacob was walking in his destiny, and Jacob was living out his destiny. So it's not just like he was sitting around doing nothing, because if we sit around and do nothing, then nothing will happen. So we have to look at this story and say, look, Jacob took action. Jacob spoke to people. He did something, and we can do the same and walk out our destiny. Now, we're not all to move. Many of us, and most of us, are not called to move 400 miles away to do something, but we are all called to do something for God where we may be. And the lesson that we can learn from this is that we got to get up from where we are, from our habits, from our way of doing things, and move to the place that God has us and do the things that God has us to do. And the place where we can do that is in the local church. So do the same as Jacob and walk out your destiny. Thank you, and see you again next week. All right, thanks for watching. You can find us on the web at clchurch.cc. That's clchurch.cc. We meet 10:30 Sunday mornings in 20 West Main Street, Catskill, New York. Hope to see you there, and thanks once again.